Hello. My name is Chris. I'm Richie. We're going to do a Facebook Live here in a little bit, but we'll get started probably in a couple of minutes or so, I guess.
Yeah, just going to get everyone warmed up. We're going to show our pretty faces here for a little bit, so more people tune in. Hope you guys have been having an excellent, for us it's been a very rainy Tuesday. Hopefully it's been pretty nice for you guys out there.
So
Richie, how's your day been?
Pretty good. Been working on some AdWords this morning.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, I know. I figured we'd work on a few things to try to get some real-world examples for the Facebook Live we'll do this afternoon.
It's a good idea.
Up to today.
It's a very good idea. I was actually checking some AdWords myself, looking at the click-through rates on one of our retailers' pages that we represent. In case you don't know, Chris and I work in the strategic services department of MicroD. So basically, we'll handle the e-marketing side of for our retailers, the AdWords, analytics, all that really fun internet stuff.
All the agency services will do that for all of our customers. So, but yeah. So when you're looking at stuff this morning, did you see anything interesting? Anything crazy?
And crazy.
As crazy as this weather.
It's crazy. Just wanted to nap all day.
It's hard not to. And it's kind of like the light right now. It's tempting, but
it is.
Maybe
everybody stay awake.
Yeah.
It's going to be a riveting Facebook Live event.
Exciting. Keep on your toes. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Again, the topic of Facebook Live today is ABCs of AdWords. So we're going to cover from how to use AdWords, what is AdWords, some of the key factors that we look at for success, and then kind of a wrap up, some actions maybe that you can take, and then maybe some takeaways for you, further information that you can use in the future. So I guess we'll get started with AdWords itself. Richie, do you want to give a brief summary of AdWords itself and how it can kind of tie into our customers' digital spend and how they can utilize it?
Sure. So AdWords is a very useful tool. You might be wondering why even use AdWords in the first place. Say you think you have a sufficient amount of traffic going to your website, you have a sufficient amount of foot traffic going to your store, why would I even bother with it? There's many very, very good reasons to actually take the time to learn about AdWords and utilize it properly in the most successful fashion possible. First off, you're going to help drive more sales to your website and to your store regardless, because you're going to be putting your advertisements, your brand in front of people's eyes. And so that's going to help with brand loyalty, brand recognition, all over the board. You're going to be able to drive customers to certain products you may be trying to push that month or that week or that day even. You can get very granular. You can narrow it down as well, and when someone is searching for a certain term, to be able to get them to go right to your website. So it's extremely useful. As a holistic viewpoint, Google AdWords is essentially just ads that appear either on a search results page or on what Google calls their display network, which is a series of about 2 million websites, apps, anything across the web that Google's partnered with where your ad will appear. So whenever you see an ad on the side of a website, or the bottom of the web page, or at the top, that's typically going to be a Google AdWord related situation.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good overview of what AdWords is. And again, like Richie said, it can be very targeted to drive product-specific traffic to your site. And like you said, the display network can go into remarketing and getting your brand out there. It's a good branding tool. Most of what we'll go over, though, is for search specific. So I think that's, especially if you're going to start out in AdWords, that's probably the best way of spending your money, is that you're looking to drive sales, maybe the remarketing, and some of the display stuff can come afterwards. But as far as AdWords itself, so again, like Richie said, that's going to be a search results page where your ad will show up primarily, and they do have a search network, which we can kind of skip over on this, maybe cover in a future talk. But
pretty broad. There's a lot of information there.
Yeah, I mean, that could go pretty deep into just like where exactly that could show as well in their network. But again, so for the search results page, there's a couple of different sections where you can show up. You can show up in the top section, you can show up in the bottom section. And the best analogy that I've heard for AdWords is that you're almost trying to rent space. So there's a specific time period when somebody's searching. What you're doing is you're essentially just renting the space. You're not going to buy number one forever.
Yeah, it's like a timeshare, essentially.
Yeah, less sketchy than the timeshare.
Yes.
But
return your investment.
Yes, and yeah, it returns your investment, and you're not locked into certain things. I think that's another nice thing about AdWords is that the entire point, one of the topics that we'll touch on here is that you continually need to optimize and add keywords and
always be updating.
So
you always have the chance to look at what's been working, what has been working, and update and change your strategy depending upon if your goals change or if the results that you're trying to get just aren't happening.
Right.
You're never locked into anything.
And again, actually, that may be a good segue to talk about as far as what's affecting your position and rank in there. So, I mean, you can show up in either the top section, bottom section of the search results page. And what's going to affect that is a big one, quality score, which we don't know 100% what goes into that, but we do have ideas from Google. So that will be your relevance of where you're going to drive traffic to, going back to if you have somebody searching for a particular product, you'd like to drive them to that product page. Another thing would be the ad itself, the ad copy. That's one of the things that I think as we've set up some of these newer campaigns, going back and revising ad copy, A/B testing that, making sure that you're trying to change things up, trying to get that quality score a little bit higher. That's
one word can make a big difference on both driving traffic to your website as well as your quality score with Google. So every word really does count. A/B testing is one of the most crucial things you can really be doing. And I would say every day. Go back in there and just see how things happened yesterday, and usually you'll see a difference pretty quickly if you just by changing very minute little details in the copy and the header. And Google also has some very useful tools to rotate your ads on a consistent basis, and then you can actually set it to optimize automatically if you would like for the ads that are getting the best results, or you can set it where you can choose which ads you want to appear more often than not. It's just very customizable, very useful tool.
And I think that's probably one of the things for if we have a customer that doesn't necessarily want to pay for strategic services or they don't want to pay an agency to do the work for them. It's pretty easy once you understand the platform and the system to go in and even just set a small budget. I mean, you can do something as small as $5 to $10 a day, and then once you set that up, small incremental changes, little things like that. Once you do that, you can kind of play with a small budget and get a feel for it and see if it's worthwhile to you. But again, I guess success with AdWords comes down to using some of those tools to your advantage and making sure that you're actually getting a good return, which I think that's probably another good thing to touch on is the return, to make sure you know what you're looking for beforehand, kind of planning it out.
Yeah, establishing your goals up front before really deciding anything. Decide what goal do you want to accomplish with AdWords. Are you trying to drive more traffic to your website? Are you trying to get people to sign up for a newsletter more often? Are you just trying to generally enhance your brand awareness? There are different key strategies you can use to optimize your Google AdWords to hit these key targets. And basically just you want to define the metric that you want to see the results happen for, and then move forward accordingly according to that.
Yeah. And I think that's, again, the easiest thing about AdWords itself is that once you set up goals and stuff ahead of time, you can go back through, revise those goals. As long as you have somewhat of a plan heading into it, you should be fine. And then again, you can always just switch it off. It's as easy as switching an on and off button. If something's not working, links are broken, and you switch things up on your site, you can stop it completely. But going back through and revising that, looking at all that, I think is pretty important. And then I guess even talking about some of the examples today, I'm sure in the stuff you were looking at earlier, revising ad copy and looking at that ad rotation was an important thing of what you did today, and I know it was for me too. So
it was. We were messing around with an ad copy that said sensational sectional sale, and it's actually been our highest converting AdWord copy. So don't steal that.
Trade secrets are
trade secret. So yeah, just to see how it would play out, and it's actually people have been responding very highly to it. Once again, also have fun with it. It's the internet, so you need to have a little bit of personality in there. Otherwise, you're just going to be another line of words in that results page. So it's very useful if you can utilize your brand image in a fashion which will be displayed with the words you use, the copy you use. Try to put a little bit of yourself in there, and people will pick up on that.
Be unique, yeah. Good call.
Do you want to go? We got a couple minutes left. Do you want to just touch real quick on just some best practices people can utilize?
Yeah, so best practice, I would say one, and this could be kind of a summary too. So one, definitely set ahead goals. Just think about your project before you get into it. Determine how much you can spend. Look at your budget. Another thing is making sure that you know how to measure those goals. So if it is driving results to a specific page, make sure that's set up in Google Analytics, or you just are directing the traffic in the correct place and have a way of capturing it. Another thing would be just to review what you're doing, making sure that everything's working okay, and then keeping on budget, keeping to your goals, I think is the keys to success to actually have a successful campaign. And honestly, it doesn't matter how much you spend. You can still spend a pretty low amount and have a low budget and still have good success as long as you just follow best practice, subscribe to a few Google newsletters, things like that, and I think you should be fine. So,
yep. So today we touched on why use AdWords, what AdWords is, and some best practices that you can utilize in order to enhance your site's AdWords situation. Thank you guys very much for tuning in today. It's been a lot of fun. I know I've had a lot of fun today. It was a little exciting being live. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it was a good time. So if you want to learn more about AdWords or other e-marketing techniques, always check out MicroG's blog. It's available on our website, microginc.com/blog. And we'll be routinely doing more of these Facebook Live events to just fill you guys in on more topics that are critical to online success. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, I'm Richie,
Chris,
and we'll catch you guys later. Have a great day.